It's time to analyze my Capcom Pro Tour Regional Finals matches and see where I went wrong, where I could have done better. Obviously, for the match against Chico, it's going to be the most important one to analyze. But also, I think the match against Semy that I had was also pretty interesting, to say the least. I don't really think we need the attack data, but the rest we can keep. Here, I wanted to comment on a few things, because one thing that happens to me all the time when fighting Semy is he just steamrolls me. So I decided I'm gonna make it as hard as possible for him to find an opening with the solar plexus. Usually he finds gaps and then he just tries to steamroll me going in. And this time around, look, I recognize here that he's about to go in. He whiffed a button. Unfortunately, I couldn't whiff punish, but here it is. Bam, just interrupting. This light kick is just here to interrupt him. Unfortunately, I couldn't hit confirm it, but it's really not what I want. I want to make sure he feels like there's no easy way in. He has to do it another way. And then from time to time, I go in aggressively like that. I know he's going to react to the drive rush, so I'm testing him here. And he whiffed a crouching medium kick, so I know, okay, he's going to react to that. Unfortunately, solar plexus didn't work out. That was a great play from him. Here, honestly, I should have done a perfect parry attempt. I was looking for something completely different, but we're having a clutch match right here. That was an amazing whiff punish. I got that one good. He blocked that. Here, this is where like the DP anti-air could come into play and would actually make sense to do. And this is something I really want to get better at within the next couple of months. Something like a weakness in my gameplay for sure. Here, trying to burn him out. And I thought he's gonna crack right here because he's about to get burned out, so I figured he's probably gonna press a button or do a special move or something, but he played it patiently. Here I'm actually playing it pretty patiently as well. I kind of like that I didn't crack, but at the same time, I gave him so much room to breathe, he actually found that disgusting overhead. So yeah, good play right there from Semy, but it's not over yet. He's waiting for me to do something unsafe. I'm really not giving it to him. Caught a backdash. Lucky. Honestly, I'm shocked he didn't do level 3 there. Here, that was really unlucky. But he throughout the set, you'll notice he keeps neutral jumping because he knows that I'm having a hard time anti-airing, but throughout the set I'm actually getting better at that. This right here was just an execution error, by the way. That was supposed to be a DP, and honestly I was very unhappy about this because now all of a sudden I don't have an opportunity to finish him off with one combo into CA. That would have been very threatening, and I lost this threat with this level 1 super. Here, good pressure. Honestly, right here, I had a couple of choices. I could have done a drive rush combo, but I'm kind of happy I chose the donkey kick because the donkey kick made sure I don't burn myself out. So now I do this, which I'm very happy about because here, honestly, I'm threatening the burnout very much. Like, Semy is really concerned to get burned out right here. And it's the standard route as well, but instead I do a backdash into a hard punch. This is actually a play that covers multiple things. If he does a DP, then, well, it whiffs and I get a punish afterwards. And if he does a late tech, the hard punch actually punishes the late tech attempt. Can you hit confirm an OD Hadoken into a forward hard kick Tatsu? only possible if the like if you're trading with something. I guess you can do that, but I think it really requires you to be close to the opponent. The spacing, I think, is normally not good enough to do that. I mean, we can check right here while we're at it. We can check. Here, I happen to actually have the right spacing, I think. But this is a pretty unusual scenario. So yeah, I could have actually done that. It would not have killed, so I needed level 2. Is that possible? No, it's not possible. Oh, that's pretty good though. So it ended up not being technically, but like the donkey kick is still the safer choice, because from that like you'll actually be able to do the donkey kick from more ranges, and yeah, I still got it right here with the backdash setup. So yeah, let's move on. I love this conversion. Here, by the way, this is a mistake that I used to make, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm like finally in a position where I'm adjusting my strings according to my opponent's well, strength. You see that? Triple jab. And normally you'd see classic Jimmy into Hasho. But instead, I actually waited. I waited after the jab sequence. Look, here's the last jab. Okay, here's the last jab. Here it is. Jab. And then instead of a Hasho, I'm like, okay, I'm holding down back in case the opponent tries to press a button. And because I know, okay, this is Semy. He might actually do a perfect parry attempt on the Hasho, or even a DI. So yeah, normally you do the Hasho here because you know the opponent is pressing buttons, but I know Semy is good enough to recognize this is a classic light Hasho situation. And in a light Hasho situation, the proper response is actually perfect parry or DI if you want to be greedy about it. I waited for it instead of going for the Hasho, waited for his response. Nothing came out, so then I walk up slightly and do a medium punch. Here, I'm really hoping to clip him with a counter hit, because then I get a full conversion. Didn't really happen, but I really like the sequence, and it really goes to show how much thought you have to put into your strings. You really have to understand what is the opponent's knowledge, what is your... Like, you cannot autopilot your strings. Even if it's a strong string, you have to show your opponent that you're willing to mix it up. Otherwise, you're just gonna get downloaded. That's what downloaded means, right? It just means that you're just too predictable with your own strings, and the opponent is just adapting to it. And I know Semy loves to do this, by the way. So this is a classic scenario, by the way, where, okay, Semy is like, okay, maybe I'll actually get lucky here. If I had thrown a fireball after the medium punch, he could have possibly jumped out of it. But he recognizes that, okay, there was no special move cancel, so an anti-air scenario is here. So if I try to do a DP anti-air in this spot, I'll actually show you. It might actually whiff and he gets to clip me. See that? So you can't anti-air this situation properly. So the back fears covers this spot. If he had done a normal jump-in attack, the back fears would have worked and the Tatsu is also covered. And now I get to pressure him. Here, this was a major mistake from Semy. I'm pretty sure that was genuinely just a mistake. He didn't want to do that. So yeah, let's get back to that. Fireball, by the way, this fireball right here, just so you understand. So here he made the mistake. I capitalize on this. Here, this fireball right here is a classic scenario. Semy is likely to be concerned about his drive gauge. So sometimes, like if you're concerned about your drive gauge, but you still want to do an invincible move, you spend a level 1 super. If he had done a level 1 super, he would have been clipped by the fireball, and actually that would have been a checkmate scenario. So I was hoping here I get a checkmate. He doesn't bite though, so he just blocks it out. And finds the good moment here to do this. Side swap, good combo from Semy. But I can't afford to be greedy here. And I'm being really patient, by the way, with my greed. I'm mixing up lows so he doesn't walk backwards, and throws so he actually gets threatened by chip out in this spot right here. And honestly, here I think I had a chip out scenario that I didn't take. I think he was dead here, but instead I gave him a chance. So let's go back and see if he was actually dead there. Maybe I was a bit too far away, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I was actually too far away. Maybe I could have still done it though. No, I'm actually too far away. I had to get a little bit closer than that. But still, I wasn't even thinking about it, so I think this was a mistake in general. It wasn't a guaranteed chip out, so that's all I wanted to know. So instead, I was actually trying to be patient. Unfortunately, I gave him a chance to jump out there. I think I should have really done something different. But yeah, he's getting a chance right here. Here, this was actually a good play from me. The only reason I get to jump out of this situation is because I happen to get a perfect parry on the fireball. I get clipped here, but that's actually okay. He did go for a sneaky dash under, which I think was good, but it wasn't good enough for me to... I knew that was not going to cross under. Look, he's buffering so much here because he's hoping I do a fireball. If I had done a fireball here, by the way, an OD fireball, he would have reacted to a level 2. He was buffering so much. Look at his inputs, okay? He's buffering... He's buffering quarter circle back inputs here. Because and I know that's what he's thinking about. And because he's buffering, take a look at that. Take a look at his inputs. Because he was buffering right here, I recognize he's buffering. So instead I walk up and do a crouching medium kick, clipping him and getting the victory like that. Very important to understand what the opponents or what players are thinking at any given point. Was that actually just the first match? I think I need to speed up this analysis. That was actually really unfortunate the way I didn't get a whiff punish there. Good perfect parry, of course. Here I went for the medium Hasho, by the way, because I was expecting him to do a DI or something, or press a button. And he didn't actually punish me for it. This is a punishable scenario. Wait, is that a meaty setup? Jab into drive rush forward hard kick. Let's see. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe that was a setup. I'm not quite sure. Okay, let's move on though. You see another neutral jump, by the way. Like, look at this. This is something very important to understand. I do a DI, and now he's expecting me to do a solar plexus or something like that. Nothing happened, but I also didn't get a punish on his neutral jump, so he doesn't really feel threatened, and he keeps, well, doing the neutral jumps as a result. I kind of disagree with this decision, actually. I think he could have gone for a guaranteed burnout with the DI. Here, I was considering to spend meter, but I recognize, okay, no, this is actually not good. I went for the perfect Oki scenario, and I do agree, actually, this is the right way. I tried to bait a DP, nothing happened, so I have to take this pressure. Here, another one. I needed to anti-air that. But I do get the shimmy, though. Semy has a good understanding of when I'm gonna stop my pressure. But he's almost burned out now. I figured he's gonna try to press buttons to regain his drive gauge a little bit, but instead he did go in defensively. Wow, what is this Ryu face? Damn. The eye meter gets scaled on perfect parry, but I thought he had enough. Here, this is a classic silly situation that I absolutely hate. I'm pretty sure he actually fucked up the throw, but when you fuck up the throw like that, you end up in a position where the late tech that I'm gonna do is actually punishable. So silly when that happens. Here, this was a good jump. Also a great moment to recognize Semy recognizing the scenario and trying to deal max damage right here. Actually, let's check. So how much damage? So 2,880, okay. He gets the DP, but he's actually not super close. Let's check the difference. Okay, so 2,820. So he was right about that. It's actually a better combo, but is it worth like look, the problem with this combo is, oh, actually he's decently close, right? It's probably just optimal. So it's not bad. This was actually pretty good, though. I like the fireball right here. I knew he was gonna try to interrupt me with something. Here, once again, like, take a look at this. Take a look at this scenario. Perfect parried the fireball. I can see he's gonna drive rush in. And I attempt to light kick punish the whiff crouching medium punch, and unfortunately I must have been like off by like a pixel or so to get the whiff punish, because if you do drive rush like that, it extends your hurt box a little bit, so this must have been really close actually. Here I was actually kind of shocked at the Tatsu being punishable. I knew he was minus, but I really thought he was not going to be punishable here. Actually, let me see that again. No, I don't actually need. I can just check how minus it is, right? No? No, apparently I can't just check. Wow, that was still... Yeah, I could have clearly killed him there. Damn. Display settings can give the frame data. Yeah, normally it shows. I was not sure why it didn't show me that. Maybe if I put the frame meter on, but it doesn't really matter. All I needed to know is that it's at least -6. And here, by the way, like one thing that I want to cover here for this match as well. Here, throw. And I knew here he's not gonna have the balls. He's gonna be pressing a button and he's gonna get thrown. And I knew if I do a drive rush, it might actually mess up his DP input. So another throw, and of course another throw. Gotta show some balls sometimes. So that's 2-0. That was really great play from Semy. Delayed medium punch to go for this sequence. So frustrating when that happens. But yeah, he wasn't actually able to kill me there. I guess I should have been a little bit more patient. Here I could have whiff punished him, and I just was looking for something else. I didn't quite get it. At least I got the DP anti-air. Tried to debate the DP here, but he didn't bite. Here I really needed to counter DI. I stopped my sequence. I thought he was going to do a parry and wanted to walk up throw, but instead he did a DI and I wasn't ready. These are scenarios that I really need to get better at. If I'm actively baiting the parry option, I still need to like keep in mind if he does a DI, I need to be able to counter DI. So and this is just a problem that is here because of well, because I have not played enough matches yet where I'm actively thinking about that. And now that I'm playing on that level again, I really need to just do that more to get more comfortable with it. Here, another neutral jump that he got away with. I'm kicking myself at this point, by the way, for not anti-airing those neutral jumps. Because I know he's getting away with a lot. And it also means I can't do solar plexus as much. Because he's going to keep doing that. And at some point, I'm going to die because I'm going to do a solar plexus and he's going to neutral jump. So it's really important to start anti-airing that. Here. This time I recognize it, but I only do a crouching fierce anti-air. Hard kick is doable, but very tough in those spots because you got to do it early or else you risk getting attacked. So yeah. Let's take a look at this again. Here, getting the anti-air. But then he got that one whiff punch that he really needed, and bam, it's over. Game 3 is done at that point, right? So it's 2-1, the score. That DP gives you safe jump. What DP? Here, technically, I could have whiff punished that, but also tough to do. Here, another crouching fierce anti-air, so at least he's getting punished now. That was an interesting setup. Let's check that out again. When the DP hits 1 frame late of being able to cancel into level 3. So heavy DP here in the corner. Jab, jab. Into light Hasho. This is a setup I've actually never seen before. Nah, I should write that down. I got sidetracked right there. Okay, let's get back. So here's the nice Hasho setup. This setup, by the way, right here, after the heavy DP, this crouching medium kick is designed as a throw whiff. Okay, if the opponent does a tech, it'll always whiff because it creates enough distance between you and the opponent. Semy knows that I know about this, so he actually purposely goes into a throw because he's basically faking a shimmy with a crouching medium kick. So I don't take the bait, I actually jump out of it entirely. But this was actually a great sequence. This is something I should really be doing more. Something I should really be doing more. Right here. The jab drive rush cancel from Semy is really genius. Get to the other side. And then pressure the opponent and keep the corner. It's a pretty expensive option with low damage though, so something to consider. Here the back fierce was actually cancelled into heavy Hasho. We actually did the same thing here. This is actually funny. And here, he really surprised me with that, but made a mistake. Or didn't really make a mistake. I think he did actually do the correct, have the correct choice. But he really put himself in a dangerous position right here. He could have easily lost this match. Dangerous position, but yeah, Semy clutched it out. Here, this is a good adjustment for me, where I'm finally actually punishing those drive rush attempts. Keeping him in the corner with this, you know? That's exactly what I need to do. For those who are wondering why I'm whiffing those jabs are all baits so that my opponent does not get triggered into jumping every single time he sees any kind of animation. I'm making sure that whenever I am doing a fireball or a donkey kick, I don't get jumped in on. Very important to show the opponent variety in the animations so they don't actually start getting a feeling for when you're doing the special moves that are punishable by jump-ins. Here, finally, this is the first one. It's the first one that I'm catching with a heavy DP. Here, actually, this is a bit of a mistake. I really wanted to do a DP and I got a back fierce somehow. In this spot, I'm actually kind of okay with the scenario. Also, here I'm kinda like, I'm really happy he didn't have level 3. I wasn't really paying attention properly. I just happened to get away with this DI. If he had built level 3 on this, I would have died. So dangerous spot to be in. Here, finally, you see that? Now I'm like, okay, you've shown me enough delayed crouching medium punches. Actually, was it a crouching medium punch that I hit? Let's see. Yeah, you see that? Look at this. It was a crouching medium punch that he pressed. So instead of ending my string early, I am committing to the light Hasho here, and bam, got a counter hit on that. He backdashed, I went for this string. Here he eats the heavy DP. And this is such a crucial mistake, by the way. Something very, very important. So here I'm look at what I'm doing here. I'm walking back forward, okay? So I'm in the corner here. So he eats a light kick. Now I'm walking forward just to bait him into pressing a button. And then at the very last moment, I do a jump. Semy was still expecting me to keep walking forward, and he wanted to do a crouching medium punch into a drive rush cancel. So now he's in a position where I'm doing a jump in, and now he doesn't have a lot of frames to anti-air me because he did his attack. And because I didn't press a button, his Shoryuken actually whiffs. Now let's check something here. What happens if I actually press a button? Does he actually get the punish here or not? Let me check. Yeah, see, punish counter. So I thought he did the DP so late and might actually not work regardless of whether I press a button or not. But no, we actually have confirmation. That was a punish specifically, or it wasn't a punish specifically because I did the empty jump. So you always got to keep in mind, if you don't press a button, you actually recover earlier on the ground. Or actually on a technical level, you don't recover earlier. There's still recovery on the ground, but you can actually cancel the recovery into a block. That's how it technically works. The only thing you can't do actually is on the first frame when you get on the ground, you're actually punishable by throw for 1 frame. You're punishable by throw, but that's about it. 3 frames earlier, Gaming God knows the exact rule. Okay, very nice. So yeah, and as a result, I actually get to finish him off here. I'm happy I recognize I can actually go for the simple combo to finish him off. And that's basically it. That is the set against Semy. Good plays by me. Good plays by Semy, honestly. But at the end of the day, I think you can't really tell. Semy has not been playing that much Street Fighter lately. And I think if he had been more crisp, it would have been a much, much more difficult set to play. But at the same time, this is the first time I'm able to consistently get into the top 8 of the World Warrior. So clearly I've stepped it up considerably because the first 2 years of Street Fighter 6 I wasn't able to do that. So now we're getting to this point where matches against the best players are getting a lot more close. But maybe more importantly, now let's talk about this set right here, because this one was a brutal one, right? This is a brutal one, and I just want to take a look at where are my mistakes and what should I have done better. I think this was actually a genius start. I started off with the medium donkey kick, not the heavy one. If I had done the heavy one, by the way, the light punch that Chico did right here would have recovered in time. But because I did medium, I force him to actually not press a button at all. This is going to come in handy later. Here, I do a walk up into, look at this. I do a walk up, that is supposed to trigger a jab or something from him into a medium punch. Unfortunately, it didn't actually bite. No buttons. I tried it again right here, but no. And here, like, my pressure sequence is over. And this is the main problem in this matchup. At any given point, this right here can happen. Like, the opponent is just doing an OD fan. I got clipped here. Okay, it doesn't combo, but here, now, like, what do? I have to gamble. I actually attempted a late tech because he was close to me, so I figured, hey, he might actually go for a throw, but he didn't actually do anything, and that caused me to get hit. But then he also doesn't follow up, which is interesting. That was a good anti-air. That was a good hit. I'm actually really happy about how I did that. But I think I really messed up this combo right here. I'm pretty sure I could have killed him here. How do I do that? That does not kill. Wow, not quite. This is a really tough one. Maybe I did go for the right conversion here. Maybe like this. No! Oh, drive rush back fierce into crouching fierce heavy donkey kick. I'm not close enough. The problem is the starter, of course, Chico. Good to see you, Chico. I could have killed if I had done a different starter. That's true. Actually, there are multiple ways. The problem in this scenario is I really need to. Even that. Actually, even that does not kill. Now, there was no kill combo. So okay, I've spent enough time analyzing this from this perspective. Doesn't really matter that much. I chose this combo right here. The back fierce into the axe kick, which is actually one of the few ways to do the combo that I did. And honestly, I think overall, this was actually not a bad choice right here. Buff reuse damage, exactly, Chico. I went for a meaty setup, but Chico, perfect parry, unfortunately. But I think actually overall, I had a good compromise between damage and meter spent. I think that was actually the correct choice. I put him reasonably close to kill without burning myself out or without spending level 1 super. So I think that was pretty good. What was pretty bad though is in this spot right here, I'm just considering, okay, the OD fan is gonna kill me. So I need a big gamble, and I didn't get it. Here, I took a lot of damage because I tried to jab. But I don't even consider that a mistake. I have to consider, okay, what is my opponent considering? Any ODDP is gonna kill him. So instead, Chico is really, really good with those whiff punishes. Bam. And now I'm dead. So tough. So tough. Just really don't know what to do there. Rogar, what's up? Here I did make a mistake though. When I baited him into a parry, I really should have just walked up and done a throw. Good throw from him. Let's go back and see how was this situation created. So once again, I do this. What happens next? He's just holding down back. Then he starts walking backwards. And my throw whiffs. And then I get punished. That's actually really, really reasonable. Like, that was really good. I think the key to this matchup in general is throwing a lot of fast fireballs until Mai gets level 1. It's a really big risk as well, though. Like what? Just trade against your OD fan? I'm just gonna get OD fanned. I'm not gonna be winning the matchup through fireballs. I think these scenarios, like these situations where here I'm just trying to get. Oh, I got lucky. I happened to catch you throwing a medium kick. But that's actually silly right here. I get punished for trying to bait you into exactly that. And here. Bam. So rough. So rough. I actually kind of liked how I played this for the most part. Just subtle mistakes, but they have massive consequences against Mai. Like, just look at this. Here, this is the real problem. I'm losing on the ground here. I'm losing on the ground. I really need to get that punish for that throw attempt. Here. This is where I need to win against you, Chico. I successfully caused you to spend more drive gauge meter than I do. But then I keep getting punished on the ground like that. Something I really need to do a lot better. Here, I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, just throw fireballs against my... What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna go wrong. That's what's gonna go wrong. And at some point, I'm gonna guess wrong on the shimmies here. I gotta win the ground game without spending too much. I gotta walk you down. I gotta play aggressive, and hopefully not guess wrong 20 times in a row. That's really the difference. It's the ground game. I really don't think a more fireballs would have helped. Here, I knew though, you're looking for the donkey kick. So I know I can drive rush in for free and do the throw. And here, I'm gonna press button. So I did get that correctly. But yeah, no throw, and now I'm in a tough spot all of a sudden. Like there is no way out of this situation right here. I didn't make a mistake, but the situation was just inevitable. This is why Mai is so strong. Like, just look at this. So I pressure you here, you don't take the bait, and you throw one OD fan. And now I'm done. I had to do a perfect parry on the OD fan and then do the crosscut. That was the only way out. But even then I lost corner control. And it requires a frame perfect punish on the OD fan. I guess this is one of the major mistakes that I did make, right? Not perfect parrying enough of the fans. Even then it's difficult. Wait, if I don't parry... I can actually do the crosscut here. Huh, that's interesting. If I just walk backwards, I can do a crosscut, but if I do that, that's the problem. If I do that, I make myself susceptible to the lows. Yeah, but if I yeah, I can dash forward after doing that, but the problem is Mai is in your face with plus frames. So it's very likely she's going to press a button. If she presses a button, I get clipped by Mai, and then the fan is going to clip, and then Mai can do a heavy punch combo afterwards. So it's a very, very risky thing to do. But yeah, in that specific spot, I could have dashed. Yeah. But really, is that the solution? What am I even practicing right now? Oh, that's not what happened. I did a perfect parry, and then I blocked. Here, I tried to get a guess on another OD fan. It didn't work out. I did get the perfect parry here, but Chico did not go in afterwards. And then I get clipped by that. It's honestly mostly a problem with the footsies. He's just outplaying me on the ground, and I'm worried about the OD fan, which makes me try to play faster than maybe necessary. And then I get absolutely destroyed, damn. After you block the fan, if I block the fan and I commit to a DP, yeah, that works, but that's a gamble, a heavy gamble that I need to go there. I don't really think that we should talk about what should we do against Mai and then be like, okay, hey, if you risk the entire game with this play, you get a tiny bit of damage. Is that worth it? This was the final game of the set. This is 2-0 for Chico right now. And see, like, this is the problem though. Look at this. I'm trying to get in, and bam, got whiff punished. Definitely something that I could have done better or should have done better. What I really should have been doing here is walk forward and then block a little bit. Like, if I can get a whiff punish on this, I'm in a good position, you know? But that's so difficult to do against Mai. I even, like, is that doable even consistently? Can I outplay Mai on the ground? Like, look at this. I'm trying to play the ground game. But man, every single whiff is causing me to die. And that's it. Damn. So yeah, I mean, TLDR, honestly, just play a better ground game. I need to expect a player as good as Chico is just simply able to whiff punish me on pretty much anything that I throw out. So I need to be more careful with that. If he's gonna be waiting for my whiff punishes, then the solution is really to just to walk him down, right? If he's not willing to take a risk with the OD fan because he's waiting for jump in and waiting for me to press a button, then walking him down is the solution. Then finding the right moment for him to press a button, or of him pressing a button and then getting a whiff punish on that. I should have played a little bit more patient, I guess. I guess this is one of the problems that I was showing in this set right here. I just didn't have enough patience because I thought the solution to his playstyle is just to be overly aggressive, but I think I should have been more patient instead, now that I'm seeing this gameplay. What do you guys think? Regardless, overall, I'm honestly happy with my performance at the CPT Capcom Pro Tour this year. 5th place, qualified for the regional finals for the first time, and also 5th place in the regional finals. That makes me top 5 in my region, which I'm happy about. So next year, just gonna do better than that, you know? Just gotta keep the improvements up that I've been showing for the last couple of months, and win next year. That's the goal.